Magic Market Broadcast Briefing. Welcome. My name is Earl the Pearl, and this is another edition of how you can become a professional broadcaster. We are really excited, and we're getting a lot of support online and social media, and we really appreciate you telling your friends and everyone else about the free broadcast training. This free broadcast training can take your business and take your event to another level because you learn how to market and sell your product online to thousands of people. The Magic Market Broadcast Briefing will allow you to be professional in any endeavor that you choose to pursue. A valuable piece of equipment that you can use when you set up your mixer in your recording studio for your radio station is the Behringer UCA 202. Now, this is a recording interface, and as you see it pictured right there, it is very flexible. It's a part of what I use in my operation, and you can use it for recording and playback. Now, if you have a mixer, and that mixer doesn't have a USB connection, then this is the piece of equipment that you will definitely need, because you will have to interface with the mixer and the computer. It is high resolution. It's 48 kilohertz. That's a good number for high-end audio quality. It works with your PC or a Macintosh, and no setup or drivers are required. And you also get some free recording and editing software downloadable at www.behringer.com, which is a nice deal too. If you were thinking about getting some recording, thinking about buying some recording software, you could possibly buy this Behringer UCA 202 and get a free download of software. So this is a good deal here. It has a stereo headphone output with dedicated level control that you monitor both the input and the output. And like I said, it's powered via USB bus. No external power is needed. And it's very dependable. I can tell you that from my experience. The Behringer UCA 202 recording interface is a very important part of the radio setup for your studio. And we talked about mixers a couple of weeks ago, and mixers are important if you are going to use a mixer external outside of the computer. There are a lot of possibilities for you to use a mixer inside the computer, inside the software that you decide to use. But those people who would like to use a mixer outside of the computer have an advantage. If you want to interview people and you need external buses, or what we call in the industry pots, and actually they're just segments of the mixer where you can turn the volume up and down, take care of the equalization of the mixer. And of course, equalization of the mixers usually are in high, medium, and low. Then you have your sound effects that come right below those knobs, usually on mixers, and then your volume, which is up and down, and Q, which allows you to hear what you are broadcasting. Other people cannot hear it. That's what the Q button is for. And mixers traditionally are kind of expensive, but in today's environment, in today's computer environment, these mixers are not as expensive as you might think that they are. I use a Behringer. Behringer is made in Germany, and it's a nice quality mixer that has a lot of nice features to it, and they're not real expensive. And when I did live shows back in St. Louis, when I did the karaoke shows, I was using a Behringer. So the first mixer that we're going to talk about is the Behringer Xenix 502 Premium 5-input 2-bus mixer, and has a mic preamp and also an EQ. It's just $39. And this is a very bare bones, basic type of mixer. Has reasonable quality sound for the price. And like I said, $39.99. The next mixer is the Behringer Xenix 802 Premium 8 input. So instead of 5 inputs, you have 8 inputs. It is a 2-bus mixer with mic preamps and EQ for just $59.99. And the Behringers are reasonably priced, and they do good customer service if you have an issue or you have a problem. And that's the reason why I wanted to recommend either of those two on the low end. The next two mixers that we'd like to go over are the Loop Mixer, and that is by Maker Heart. It is a portable audio mixer with 5 channels and 3.5 millimeter stereo inputs, and it is $55 and has 5 stars, as you can see on the screen there. 5 stars usually means that they've been reviewed pretty good, and people like that type of product when it's reviewed highly on Amazon that way. The other mixer that we'd like to take a look at here just has 2 stars. But just because it has 2 stars doesn't mean that it's a bad product or anything. It just means that certain people don't like the features and certain people don't like what is offered comparatively speaking to the other brands. But this is the Just 2 mixer by Maker Heart. It is USB and compact USB powered stereo desktop. It is a DJ mixer. And depending on the type of broadcasting, this might be feasible for some people who are not doing talk shows, primarily doing music shows. So it is $49.99. 3.5 millimeter jack for the headphones, plus a USB audio output. And the last mixer that we're going to talk about here is the Behringer Xenix 1202 FX Premium 12 input 2-bus mixer, preamps and EQ, and a 24-bit multi sound effects processor. And that actually means that you've got some processing, is what we call in the business, special audio effects that you can use to accentuate your programming, and actually effects, or what we call in the business distortion, actually. But the distortion adds variety, and sometimes it can add impact, and there's a variety of different ways to use distortion. And this mixer is $99. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the particulars of how to use it and all of that. We'll do that on our one-on-one training. I wanted to recommend these mixers for you, so you can have a starting point as to where you could start searching and looking if you just wanted to use an external mixer versus an internal mixer. And of course, this particular mixer has 4.5 stars and is rated pretty high, and it has XLR inputs. XLR is an input that will ground the microphone so you don't have a whole lot of hissing and noises and that kind of thing with frequent use of your mixer with your microphone. It is an input that will allow a very secure connection with the microphone. That's the best way to describe it. And so these are the mixers that we are going to recommend to you to just take a look at. And then if you have any questions, you can always go to and leave a message on the fan page. If you have some questions, you can always go to our website or go to our blog and leave those questions, because we're always monitoring those. So those are the mixers. And if you got any questions, like I said, feel free to use us. We're going to talk about some more interesting aspects of radio next week, and we look forward to speaking with you soon, and just hope you have a great rest of the week. Earl of Pearl from Majic Market Broadcast Briefing. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.